Welcome to Become Stitches. Thank you for stopping by. Everyone, good morning and good to have you guys here. My name is Peace of Become Stitches. I want to say a very big thank you. I really appreciate you guys so much. This is a new YouTube channel that's just growing, but I've seen so much support. In one of the videos, we had over 40 something views in less than 1 month of starting. I really appreciate you guys, and I say, may God bless you guys so much. Thank you for always coming back to watch, even when sometimes the quality of the video is not that good. I know we're working on it so that we all can learn very conducively and get the lessons appropriately. But you guys have really shown me support, and I say may God bless and reward each and every one of us. But I also have a plea to put out here. Please kindly like, if you're watching this video so far and you haven't liked or subscribed, please do so, because I've seen the views are increasing, but the likes are still the same. Please, these things help me grow and encourages me to put out more video out there. So please, I would really appreciate if you can like now as you're watching, and also subscribe. God bless you. Thank you. So let's get straight into today's tutorial. You've seen the thumbnail. We're working with this very beautiful Ankara fabric. I'm using 3 yards. I have this lining. It's a very small leftover lining, like 1 yard, so I'm just going to be managing it. Okay, then I have this hard net. Okay, it's 1 yard of hard net to make the dress stand. I have my scissor, my tape, and my chalk. So let's get right into class. You're welcome back. I've gone ahead to fold my fabrics. Okay, the first one here you can see is folded into two. This one is also folded into two. This is a back piece and it's bigger than the front piece by 1.5 inch. This is going to be my zipper allowance. It's on fold now, but I'm going to cut it open later. So this is the front piece, and from this line is where all our measurements are going to be taken from. Okay, from this line. Okay, so let's get right into class. So from the shoulder line here, from the starting line, I'm going to come down by 1 inch and mark. Okay, this 1 inch is going to serve as our starting point. Okay, and it's also going to serve as our shoulder line. So you're going to draw it out into a straight line. Okay, from there we're going to take our shoulder measurement. My baby's shoulder measurement is 9 inches divided by 2, that's 4.5, but I'm going to be using 5 inches because I'm attaching a sleeve to it. So ½ inch will be to join the sleeves back to it. The neck width I'm working with is 2.5 inches. Since it's a baby, I'm going to slope the shoulder by ½ inch, but for an adult we do use 1 inch, even to 1.5. Okay, so thank you. Now from this sloped line here, I'm going to mark my baby's armhole measurement. My baby's armhole measurement is 5 inches, so I'm going to mark 5 inches here. I'm going to draw this out from the shoulder. I'm going to mark, okay, this is 5.5. I'm going to mark 5.5 on this side in order to get a straight line. So I'm going to draw this out. This becomes my baby's chest line. Okay, so from the shoulder now, I'm going to mark to my baby's waist. Okay, the child's waistline is 9 inches. Marking 9 inches, and I'm going to add ½ inch for sewing allowance to join it back to the lower bodice, and I'm going to draw out the lines. Please, I hope you're following and you're seeing the markings. Okay, Now this waistline, you're going to extend it all the way into the zipper allowance at the back. Okay, so this is our chest line. Okay, I hope this is clear. The lines are clear. This is our chest line. This is our waist line plus half of an inch for joining allowance. Now at the chest line here, you're going to mark the same thing you marked at the shoulder. Okay, so you can have a straight line for your armhole. Okay, and connect it straight back to the armhole. Good. On that chest line now, you're going to take your child's chest, round chest measurement, or you can call it bust measurement. Okay, for the baby I'm working with is 22 inches. So 22 inches divided by 4, that should be 5.5 inches. Please let me confirm that measurement. Okay, please, a second. Please like this video if you're getting value. Thank you. Okay, I'm correct. 5.5. So we're going to mark 5.5 inches here at this chest line, and you add the sewing allowance you want to use. So I'm adding 1.5 inch sewing allowance. So my baby's chest line and the tummy and the waist is the same thing for the baby I'm working with. So I'm going to take the same thing to the waistline. This is 7. So I'm going to mark it here and connect. So whatever you have on your baby's bodies, please use that. Okay, but since mine, the waist and the chest is the same thing, I just decided to use the same thing. So from this sloped line here to this point, we have 5 inches. 5 inches divided by 2 is 2.5 inches. Okay, at that 2.5 inch mark, I'm going to come in by half of an inch. Okay, for the front armhole. Please watch closely. You can use your pattern master, but I want to use my hand to connect this. I'm going to connect straight from here to this half inch. Okay, and then from here I'm going to connect it back to the bodies. Okay, I'm connecting from here back into the bodies. Can you see that? I hope you're seeing this clearly. Okay, can you see that? I connected this back into the armhole. Then for the back armhole, you're just going to take it from that half, this 2.5 line, just connect it normally. Okay, back into the armhole. Please, I hope you can see this clearly. Okay, the front armhole is different from the back armhole, but everything must align at this chest line point. Okay, and then this is our bodies. Now we're going to determine the neckline, the neck depth. So from here, for the front, I'm going to do 2.75. Okay, for the front neck depth, and for the back neck depth, I'm going to be doing 1 inch. Okay, I don't want it to be too deep, so I'm going to be doing 1 inch, and now connect this. I love to use my free hand, sorry, pardon me, but you can go ahead and use your pattern master, okay, to connect this. So these are front neck 2.75, and this is the back. Okay, and that's it. Then for the zipper, I want my zipper, what I have here is 1.2. So I want to have 0.75 at this part. This is the waist. Okay, so I'm going to go in. Okay, I'm going to go in by half of an inch and connect it back to avoid zipper bulge. So at the end of the day, what I have here is 0.75. Do you understand? Okay, The zipper allowance I left here had 1.2 inches. Okay, 1.2 inches. So I decided to go in by half of an inch to avoid zipper bulge, and then I'll connect it in a slanty manner back to the neckline. Okay, in order to avoid zipper bulge. Then don't forget, please, at the shoulder line here, add back half of an inch, okay, for joining, to join the shoulders together. Please, I hope you can see this clearly. Ask your, okay, sorry, I thought it's a live class. So just add back half of an inch at the shoulder here, remove maybe half of an inch here, connect it back to whatever you left for your zipper allowance, and you're done with your baby's dress. So let's go ahead and cut. Please kindly like, God bless you as you do so. Please cut out, or cutting out the back armhole first. Please cut out the back armhole first before you cut out the front armhole. Okay, cut out at the half inch at the shoulder, and cut out the back neckline first as well. Okay, good. So can you see this? So when you're done with that, you can lift it up your front, okay, and cut out the front neckline. Please be very careful while doing this so you don't mistakenly cut out the back again. Okay, so these are front neckline now. Can you see this? And then you lift it up as well, the first two, which is your front, and cut out the front armhole. Beautiful. And that's it. You have your front piece and your back piece ready. Okay, please align everything properly. Okay, beautiful. So these are fronts, okay, and these are back piece. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the back so you can have two pieces for the back. So the back is now open. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the exact same thing on my lining piece. Okay, then I'll show us what next to do. So the next thing, we're going to go ahead to cut out our sleeve. Okay, I'm using a long sleeve for this dress for making for the baby. So the length of my baby's sleeve is 15 inches, and I added 1 inch for hemming at the lower part. Okay, it's actually 14.5, so I can use half inch to join it back to the shoulder line, okay, and 1 inch for hemming. So I asked in my previous video if you would like a detailed tutorial on how to make a sleeve, but I didn't get a request, so I'm still going to use the shortcut we used. But please, if you have any tutorial you want us to work on, you can drop it in the comments. You want me to make a detailed tutorial on sleeve, any design at all, please let me know in the comments. Okay, please, thank you. So from the starting line here, I'm going to come down by 4 inches, or 3.5 since it's a baby. Okay, 3.5 inches. And from that point, you're going to make an S in an upward shape. Okay, can you see that? Can you see that? Just from that line, make an S in an upward shape, and that's it. So at that point, you're going to mark your sleeve round, your baby's armhole round measurement. So for my baby here, I have 10 inches, okay, for the round sleeve. So 10 inches divided by 2, I have 5 inches, so I'm going to add 1 inch for sewing. So that's going to be 6 inches. So I'm marking 6 inches here. Okay, and I come down to the hemline here. Her wrist measurement is 4 inches. That's 8 inches divided by 2. That will give me, sorry, 7 inches divided by 2. That gave me 3.5. And then I'm going to add 1 inch for joining. That's 4.5. And I'm going to connect it. Please, I hope you understand. Just take the measurement on the person. Okay, and when you get here, slant it out. Okay, so the wrist measurement and then the armhole round measurement is as simple as that. This fabric was folded into 4. Okay, this is the folded part, this is the open part. So when you fold it in 4, it's going to help you to get the both sleeves, to cut out the both sleeves at the same time. Okay, then you see this, sorry, so this is the baby's long sleeve. Okay, so we're going to hem it here by 1 inch. Okay, and then these are long sleeve. I'm going to notch here. That shows the mid point. Okay, and we're done with our sleeve. I'm going to show us the next thing to do. I'm going to go ahead to cut the lower part. This formula we're going to be using, it works for both an adult and both for a child, a younger person. It's the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to first show us, okay, how I folded my fabric. Okay, this is a full flay. Okay, a full flay, and we have 3 steps on the baby's dress. First, you're going to fold your fabric into 2 equal halves. This is the folded part and this is the open part. Okay, and after getting that fold, you're going to fold it in a triangle. Okay, this is the thread part. You're going to fold it in a triangle. Can you see this? Make one end to come to this side in a triangular form, and that's it. You align it down, so you now have a triangle. Can you see? First fold in 2 and then pick one edge like this and fold in a triangle, and that's it. Okay, you can mark from whichever side you like, but make sure everything is well aligned. Okay, and that's it. That's what we want to have. Okay, so after getting this, let's get straight into the formula. The upper part of our baby's dress is 9 inches, that's shoulder to waist. This dress is divided into 2, the upper part and the lower part. So the full length of this baby's dress is 22 inches. Okay, so 22 minus 9, we have 13 inches, minus the upper part that we've cut already. We have 13 inches left to complete the dress. So for this lower part, we'll ensure that we have 13 inches in length. So now, to cut the flay, all the flays have their formula. This flay, the formula for this flay is 3.14. Okay, the formula for a full flay, 3.14. Then if you want to do a 360-degree flay, the formula is 6.28. That one, you're going to fold it differently. Okay, you're going to fold it differently. You're not going to fold it like this. Okay, so if you want me to make a detailed tutorial on the different kind of flays and how to achieve it, please let me know in the comment section. So let's concentrate on today's one. So the formula is 3.14 for this full flay. So what we need, that's our radius. This 3.14 is going to guide us in getting our radius, our waist round. So how do we get our radius, our waist round? Your round waist measurement plus 2 inches zipper allowance. Okay, if you want to add 2 inches or for whatever inches you're using for your zipper, add it to your round waist. So my baby's round waist is 22 inches. 22 plus 2 inches zipper allowance is 24 inches. Okay, so that 24, we're going to divide it by 3.14, which is the formula, and it will give us 7.8 something and some fractions. So instead of using 7.8, I'm just going to do 7.6 something. That's what I got. So I'm just going to use 7.5 inches. The other half that I moved will be for joining this part back to the upper part. Or you can just mark your 7.6 inches, and when you're done, you add half of an inch for joining this back to the upper part so you don't have shortage. Do you understand? I'll take this again, please. I really want us to get this. To get the full flay, the formula is 3.14. So now what you need is your waist round measurement plus your zipper allowance. I'm using 2 inches plus your zipper allowance. Divide it by 3.14. That's how you get your radius. Okay? And then our radius, I'm using 7.5 because the other half I'm going to use it to join this back to the upper part. So for you to know what to have on fold here, you need to add your radius plus the length that you need for your dress. So my radius now is 7.5. Okay, 7.5 plus 13. We're going to calculate to see. So for us to get that radius, you add the 13 inches. Remember, we had 13 inches. That's the lower part, what we need at the lower part to complete to our 9 inches, which is our upper part. So you're going to add that 13 inches to the 7.5 that you need. So when you add that together, what we have is 20.5, sorry. So from the tip here, you're going to measure if you have up to 20.5 at this shorter part. And you can see I have up to 22 plus because I'm adding sewing allowance, okay, to it. So that's how you know what to fold, to know if your fabric will give you what you need. So this is what we're going to do. From the tip here, can you see this? From this tip, you're going to place your tape and mark your 7.5, your radius, okay? Whatever you had, mark it round, okay? So I'm going to mark my 7.5, okay? So sorry about that. I'm going to take this again, okay? From this tip here, mark your 7.5 round, or whatever you had, mark it round. Place your hand here so that you're sure that what you're rotating is the same thing. 7.5. Place your hand to ensure it's the same thing. 7.5. And then I'm going to connect it round. So we've gotten our radius. Okay. The next thing now, from this line, I'm going to mark my 13 inches. Okay. So I have up to 14.5 inches here. I'm going to use all of this. Okay. I'm using all this because of the hemming. If you take just 13, your fabric is going to be shorter. So you need to take more than that because we're going to hem the lower part. Okay. So I'm going to be marking 14.5. And whatever I have left will be for my hemming allowance. 14.5. You rotate, put your tape on this, your radius line, and rotate your 14.5 round. Okay. 14.5. Keep rotating. Make sure it's laying flat, okay? Make sure it's laying flat. 14.5, 14.5. Okay, I hope you can see this. So I'm going to connect this, connect all the dots that you've created, connect them, and our flay is ready. As simple as that. So if you do not understand, please watch it again, you will get it. Okay, so we're going to cut. Can you see this? Cut that part, and then you cut this other part. And that's our flay. Can you see that? Our beautiful flay is ready. So since it's a 3-step, this is the big one. Okay, I'm going to bring in another one. I want the difference. It depends on how much difference you want for each flay. Okay, you're still folding it the same way. Okay, I want the difference for each of them to be either 2 or 3 inches. So look at what I'm doing. I'm placing this over this to ensure the waistline aligns perfectly. Please look at what I'm doing carefully. Ensure everything aligns perfectly. Okay, I'm cutting out the radius first. Okay, after cutting out the radius, since I have enough fabric, I can decide to cut here out, then I subtract what I want to subtract. But please, if you don't have enough fabric, just mark after cutting out the radius, mark out what you need. Okay, so after cutting this out, I'll lift the first one out of the way. I want this to be the short one, so I'm going to come up. I want this to have 3 inches difference. Okay, 3 inches difference, or 2.5. 3 inches is fine. So I'll mark 3 inches from the hemline round for me to have an accurate line. Please, I hope you understand what we're doing. The radius for everyone, even if you're doing 5 or 10 steps, is the same. The radius, the waist round, remains the same. The only difference is the length. Okay, the length is different. Okay, the only difference is in the length. So since I want it to have, each step will be 3 inches different from each other. So that's why you see me taking out my time to mark this way. Please, if you're managing your fabric, after cutting out the waist round, instead of going back to start marking radius, I had to lay the other one on this one to get the radius, and then I subtract. But if you don't have enough material, after cutting out the waist, the same thing, you lift the other one out and mark what you need. So I'm just going to cut this out. And I'll just straighten out this part. Sorry, this part wasn't well aligned. Please be careful. Okay, so can you see what we have here? The first one, this is our first flay. Okay, the longer one is going to be the first flay, and this is the second flay. Can you see that the waist aligns? Okay, can you see this one is shorter by 3 inches? I'm going to bring in the next one. Okay, everything is still folded the same way. Can you see this? Into 2 and into 4. So I'm going to bring in this one. We're doing the same thing. Okay, I'm taking my time to show you guys this. Align the waist properly. Please ensure the waist is well aligned. At the lower part here, you can align. I told you guys I have enough fabric, so I can play around with this. But please, if you do not have enough fabric, please, after cutting out the radius, you cut out, you mark by yourself what you need. Okay, I won't be needing this fabric. That's why this material again. That's why I see me cutting it out. But please, if you're managing your fabric, please don't do this. Okay, so we're going to take this one out. Now this one had 3 inches difference. I'm going to mark the same thing here. Okay, so this other step is going to also have 3 inches difference, so I'm marking it round. Please don't always see it as a waste of time to take your time to do the right thing, please. Okay, I would have just rushed and just cut out, but I took my time to mark it out, and I'm showing us how I achieved each step. Okay, and I'm taking my time to mark this out so I can have accuracy. You saw how beautiful the dress was. If I didn't take my time, it won't come out nice. So please take your time to do the right thing. It pays. So after cutting out, marking it out, I hope you can see this. I'm going to cut this out. Good. So this is what we're going to be having here now. So each step as you go, it goes higher or shorter. So can you see the beautiful work we have here? This is the first flare, this is the second flare, this is the third flare. So no matter the flare you're doing, whether it's 10 or 20 flares, you're still cutting out the same thing. Then for aligning, I'm not going to be lining the lower part. I'm going to be weaving it. Okay, so since I'm going to be weaving it, I won't be lining each of them. I'll only cut out one lining, and I'm going to be using this second one to cut my lining because my lining won't get to the hem here. Okay, your lining is supposed to be shorter. Okay, so I'm going to place this second one to cut a lining exactly this. Okay, and this will serve as lining for everything. Then I'll show you guys how you're going to pleat in your hard net on the lining for it to have that fullness. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out the lining. Okay, like I said, I wanted us to really get this part. I'm going to cut out the lining for this. Cut the lining for the main fabric. If you want to line your sleeves, fine, but I won't be lining mine. And then I'll turn the neckline of our dress, attach the sleeve, and then I come back to show us what next to do. So before I get to my sewing machine, I just wanted to quickly show us what I've done so far. So this is our 3-step flare up close. Okay, this, the first one, the biggest one is the first one, the second and the third. Okay, and I've gone ahead to cut out linings. Okay, for my main bodies, this lining for the back piece, this lining for the front piece. I'm also going to be using a belt for this. Okay, my belt is 22 inches long. It's all fold. I'm just going to sew it at the edge here round, and then I turn it out from here. Okay, so I just decided to carve out the edge, just give it this design. And these are lining for the flare. I told you guys I'm going to be cutting out one lining, okay, that will cover up for the flare. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the neckline of our clothes. I'll join the sleeves, fix the belt on the sides, and then I'll show us how it looks. Back guys, I wanted to show us quickly what I've been able to do so far before I continue. So these are our flares. I've joined the 3 of them together at the waist. Can you see how beautiful this is? So this is the first step, the second step, and then the big one. Can you see how full and beautiful this looks? Okay, so I joined them together at the waist, okay, first, before I'll attach them later to the bigger part. So you will do that, join the three of them together first since the lining is one and separate. Then I'm gonna head to turn the neckline. Okay, I sewed it turned the zipper. Okay, for both sides. Okay, so this our back piece is ready, and I've turned the neckline of our front piece. So I'm going to head to the machine now. I'm going to join them at the shoulder, right sides facing each other. This is how I join my shoulder. Please look closely. Okay, this is the back, this is the front. I'll align them together here. Then I'll pick one lining, okay, maybe the back lining, and then I'll use it to wrap every other one together, and I'll sew up and turn it to have a neat finishing. Then when I'm done joining the shoulders, I've gone ahead to turn out my belt. I told you I wanted it to have this curvy and big hem. So I'm going to come up from the hemline of the front piece by 1 inch. I'm going to attach it this way, okay, either by 1 inch or half of an inch. I will attach it, let it face the inside, okay, let your belt be inside. You attach this one to this other part the same way too, okay. I hope you're seeing what I'm doing. Attach them on the sides. Then after joining your shoulders, you shape the side, okay. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to join the shoulder, attach the belt, shape the sides, fix in my sleeve. Then I'll come back to show us what to do with the lower part, okay. Guys, welcome back. I wanted to show us how far we've gone with our beautiful baby dress. So guys, can you see our belts sitting in pretty? Look at the sleeve, okay, a beautiful long sleeve, the neckline all turned, the back, our belt is in, okay. When you open it up, this is what you will have, okay, and this is the waist. So now we're done with the upper part. We're going to the lower part. This is the lining, okay, for the lower part. So if you open up, this is what we have for our lining. So now we're going to bring in our hard net, okay. I want to show you what to do in order to achieve that fullness. Open up your hard net this way, okay. Now I told you guys I have 1 yard, so you're going to open this part that is by 60, okay, the long part. Fold it, okay. I hope you guys are seeing this. Fold it equally, okay. Sorry guys. You fold it again, and I'm going to fold it again. Just fold it in that you have a. So the essence of all this fold and fold and fold is just to have it in a small quantity like this, okay. So I'm going to trim here. Please, sorry for the noise, in order to make it straight. So I want my net, the length to be by 6 inches, okay. So I'm going to cut it in bits and join, in bits and join, depending on the fullness that you want, okay. I'm going to place this here and cut, just for me to have the same thing, okay. I don't need it to be equal. That was why I talked about the folding and folding and folding. So just keep cutting until you get the quantity that you need, okay. The more fullness you need, the more you're going to cut. But if you have up to 5 yards or more, you won't need to do this because you get it so full. So I'm also trying to teach you how to manage, okay, work with what you have to still get your desired result. So I don't need this part, I throw it away. So in all, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm going to join it together to have a long strip. Okay, but let me show you what I'm going to be doing on my sewing machine at the lining part. Okay, the net will be on the lining. So on the wrong side of your lining, I hope you can see this, you bring in your hard net. You come down from the waistline by like 1 inches. Okay, hope you're seeing this. This is the waistline of your lining. Come down by like 1 inch, and on the side here, come into by 1 inch. Don't start from the very edge here, and then you start pleating. You do like a box pleat. Our last tutorial, I did a pleat and I showed you guys. That's exactly what you're going to do here to achieve the fullness that we desire. If you just do normal gathers, okay, or just normal pleats like this, you won't get the fullness. You see, that's the secret to having fullness even when you have a small net to work with. You do the kissing pleat. Okay, you pleat, you come in here from the side by 1 inch because we're going to join. You step down by 1 inch because you're going to attach this back to the upper part, and then you start your kissing pleat. You pleat, please sorry for the noise. You pleat to this side, pleat to the opposite side, pleat. Just watch the previous video, you will understand what I mean. So I'm going to join my two so it will be long. I'll do this, and when I'm done with the first line, I'm going to lift this up, okay, and come down by like 3 inches or 5 inches and do the next one. Or at the hem of this, you can start the next line if you still have more. Okay, I hope you understand. Just watch it again, you will understand what I mean. After pleating the first one, at the hem here, at the hem line of your net, you go in by like 1 inch and start the second one. So I'll go to my machine to do that, and I'll come back and show you what we have. Okay, meanwhile, I'm going to be attaching, this is our main fabric, our main piece, we're done. I'm going to be attaching the flare to the down part. Okay, so you're going to be turning it right side facing right side of the flare. Okay, you attach to this hem, attach to this side. Do not attach the lining. I'll come back and show you what to do. So I'm going to go do the net on it, and then I'll come back and show us what next to do. Hello guys, I feel so excited. Can you see the end result of our beautiful dress? Can you see the steps? Okay, I decided to hem it. Okay, I'll weave the inner part later. Can you see our beautiful belt, the cuffed part I talked about? And this is zipper, sitting pretty. This is so beautiful. And this is the front part. You know, when you do something and you feel so happy and so proud of yourself. Please, you guys should kindly like, subscribe, share. This is so beautiful. This is the first layer, the second layer, and the third layer. I'll search it better later. Please kindly subscribe, like, share if you found value. I'll see you in our next tutorial. Bye.